Sid, you're muted. You're muted. We can't hear a word you're saying. We can't hear you, Sid. I was vigorously texting in the private chat like, Sid, bro, we can't hear a word you're saying. You're giving this amazing speech and we don't know what's coming out your mouth, mate.
Good evening and welcome to Paxton.
Let's do it again.
PRTvSpurs. It's a massive weekend.
Oof.
It was for everyone. You know what? This was planned on purpose because we get a lot of people watching. We get people, so this is for the... It was at the beginning, it was for the people can't do the lip reading. It was for the lip reading people. Anyway, this weekend,
Understandable.
It is that time. It's the massive North London derby at the Emirates Stadium. Kicks off at 2 p.m. And like I said, joining me is the one and only Darius 3K to preview what's going to be a blockbuster of a game at the Emirates. Darius, and welcome everyone in the comment section as well. Please bear with me. We love live TV because you know what? Always hiccups along
happens
the way.
To the best, don't they?
It happens to the
best.
But Darius, how you feeling going into the weekend?
Going into the weekend, I'm feeling nervous, but I'm also feeling excited because I feel like for the first time in a very long time, we might actually take it to them Goonies at their ground. And again, we'll get into it, I'm pretty sure, but I think it's very funny, this North London derby. I think if you ask, every fan, I think you'd probably get like a group. You could probably put each fan into a group. There's, I think, a few answers that people will give you. Some people want to win and that's it. Don't care how. Some people just want to perform. Some people want to see, goals. There's loads of things that I think you'll ask. But, first and foremost, I think we all want to win. So I'm nervous. But, if there's ever a time that Tottenham Hotspur can go to the Emirates and potentially take something from there, who's to say it's not Big Angie's time? Who's to say it's not Big Angie's time?
Do you know what? I totally agree. And there's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of confidence in both camps. Not just Spurs.
Yeah, true.
But in Arsenal camp as well. And I know lots of Arsenal fans, and they're saying to me, you know what? We're not confident. You lot are playing well. You got Ange Postecoglou in charge, and we're not that confident. But then you got Spurs fans saying, "Oh, we can't wait. We're gonna go there. We're gonna do them." We'll talk about how we both feeling because I know you. I saw a little bit this afternoon, and I saw a bit of your reaction and what you were saying. So that's going to be, it's interesting because everyone's got their opinions and everyone's got their own thoughts. As always, we go into certain times in certain games very, very confident, and we think we're going to blow teams away, and it doesn't happen. But I think both teams going into this London derby, it's going to be interesting because I was reading, I think before that, there's only about a couple of players that have only witnessed the London derby from the Spurs point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And Arsenal won't know what to expect from the Spurs players. So this is going to be massive. And also, everyone that joined us at the beginning of this show, I'm going to do a competition. If you can word for word tell me what I was saying before I went actual live, then there might be a prize up for grabs because I can see Sam Spurs for lives in the house.
You can have my AirPods. There you go, guys. My used AirPods.
But you know what? The confidence high. I think everywhere you go, there's people talking about it. I'm quite surprised actually that there's not been that much on TV. I know people are doing their Spurs 11 teams and stuff like that, and there's certain Arsenal ex-pundits who've not even put one Spurs player into this combined 11. Darren Bent being one of them. And I think Tevin Campbell's a singer, innit? I met Kevin Campbell. He's agreeing as well that not. And even Tim Sherwood apparently has said that not one Spurs player gets into this Arsenal 11.
Oh, we could probably run a quick combined 11 towards the end if we have time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's right. Did Darren Bent say the same thing as well?
Darren Bent said the same thing, but you know what? He also mentioned he didn't mention anything about missing open goals and Sharon scoring. So
we don't care about Darren Bent, bro.
No, we don't care about him. Moving on. You know what I mean? But do you know what? Let's get into this then. So it's the North London derby, the biggest game in the calendar, in my opinion. You can ask, you've got Rangers, Celtic, you got Liverpool, Everton, you got Manchester United, Man City. You can AC Inter, but you know what?
El
It's North
Clasico.
London. It's North London versus South London, isn't it? Because Tottenham Arsenal, isn't it? As well.
Sean said
Right.
that earlier on.
I know, we should have done, shouldn't we? It should be the North Stroke South London derby. 24th of September 2003 at the Emirates Stadium, 2 o'clock kickoff. Everybody involved in the comment section, make sure you subscribe to the channel. PRTvSpurs and Paxton Raw TV. Smash it. Follow us, because there's going to be plenty more content and the reaction show coming up, and Jodi will be doing the ratings as well. We'll read the comments because Sam's very active at the moment in the comment section. But yes, Sam,
he's taking a break from hosting, isn't he? You're Mr. Host for the previews. So
I'm the host for the preview, right? So people might love this number depending on how you look at it. 69 times Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal have met at the stadiums. 69 times. I'll leave it at that. 26 wins for the Gooners. Spurs have won 18 times.
Is this just at the Emirates or
no?
Altogether?
This is combined. 69 meetings combined altogether. They've beaten us 26 at the Emirates. We've won 18 games at the Tottenham Hotspurs / White Hart Lane. They've won 19 times at home. We've won 15 times at our ground. Now, this is the bit. Close your eyes.
I don't even know what this is. Is it 1? Is it 2?
They've I think it's 1. 7 at our stadium. We have won 3 times. 25 draws. So, Darius, the famous number 69, and it appeals to everyone. It might be someone's favourite. Who knows? But 69 times we've played them, and we've only had 18 wins. Then again, they've had 26. But the alarming thing for me is that away thing.
Well, depending on if you're on top or bottom, I don't know if 69 is everybody's favourite position, but we won't talk about that. Moving on. Doesn't really look as bad as you think, I guess, when you see 18 wins only to the 26. You think about the dominance that Arsenal teams have had, the strength of Arsenal teams that they've had over this. I'm guessing this is a Premier League era since 92. Is this a Premier League era? Yeah. So, I mean, Arsenal have had some pretty dominant, pretty legendary, pretty iconic teams. And we still were only eight wins away, I guess. So you could look at that as a positive. Going to that big number 3 at the bottom right, there's probably the big one we probably have to look at, bearing in mind and given the fact that we are, playing at the Emirates, it's tough. 2010, I think, is the last time we won at the Emirates in the league. Unisco ball header, 3-2. Yeah. I was 10 years old. I'm not going to lie and pretend like I remembered it, but I watched back and, that header was a pretty good header. So the flick off the back into the bottom corner, I like that. And I think it was it a Van der Vaart penalty maybe as well?
It was.
I'm not too sure. So yeah. I think it's tough. It's going to be tough. I don't dispute that. I don't think, when you see fans with confidence in thinking that they're going to go and win at the Emirates, I don't think many fans are going to say it's going to be an easy win. I think that's a lot of delusion if you are saying that. So yeah, I'm not here to show any disrespect towards Arsenal at their ground. I believe it's only Brighton, Liverpool, maybe United. Maybe United have won as well. I think it's like 3 or 4 teams that have beaten Arsenal at the Emirates in the past few years as well. So again, for everybody, it's a tough place to visit. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to have incredible out of their skin performances for us to go and get a result there.
And come Sunday, it could be a sticky position and someone's going to come on top. Unfortunately, no one's going to be at the bottom because neither of these two are going to be at the bottom. But there's going to be one who finishes on top. We will find out. Be interesting. It will be very interesting. So, here are the previous results.
Oh, God.
2021, Sunday, the 8th of August, Tottenham won Arsenal 0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There's a little bit of a concurring theme here, and you'll see in a minute. 26th of September 2021, Arsenal 3, Spurs 1 at the Emirates. The 12th of May 2022, Spurs 3.
What a day that was.
The title pretenders 0. They came to us thinking they'd won the league.
No, that was that season?
Yeah,
I thought that was the season where top 4 battle and we beat them and then they went and lost
top
to
4 battle.
Yeah,
Sorry,
they went and lost to.
battle.
Did they lose to Newcastle on the last
That's right.
day?
Yeah,
we beat Norwich. They lost to Newcastle. Yeah, that was a good day.
And they came to us thinking they were going to absolutely destroy us.
Yes.
1st of October 2022, Saturday.
This is where we look away, boys.
Yeah, we look away 3-1 at the Emirates Stadium, and then the 15th of January. We all know what happened when they came to us last season.
Yeah.
They beat us convincingly 2-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So here, Darius, we've beaten them twice at our stadium. They've beaten us twice at their stadium. And then obviously the last result, they beat us at our stadium because they were on fire and we just didn't turn up. And then as you can see, Conte, whatever happened. So we've said it already. Away from home, we're struggling at Emirates. I don't know what it is, but every manager, we've had Mourinho, we've had Conte, we've had Pochettino, we've had all the managers go there, and it just seems that, like Liverpool, like Man United, they just got the upper hand over us, and we just cannot get a result at the Emirates Stadium.
And is that a surprise to you? Again, I say this with again, there are rivals. I absolutely despise them. I hope they fail. I hope they get, relegated and whatever else you wish badly upon Arsenal. I hope that happens to them. But you do have to respect they have a pretty good record at their ground against most teams, to be fair. So, yeah, tough one to swallow, I guess, the 3-1 and the 3-1s at Emirates. But the disappointing one was a 2-0. Them doing the double over us is never nice. It's not happened in a while, I believe, since last season. So yeah, that wasn't great. So yeah, I don't know. To you, I probably asked the question, Sid, do you think that we, and I guess Ange just mentioned this in his press conference, but do you think we just do what we carry on doing this season and take it to them at the Emirates? Or is that a recipe for disaster? Do we need to change our game plan, change the way that we play to get a result?
Do you know what? I think Postecoglou, from what I hear from a lot of Celtic fans and even Sean as well, he sets up in one way and one way only, and his philosophy is to go and attack teams. He doesn't care who they're playing, where they're playing, and when they're playing. His motto is we go and we attack the teams, and we've seen that all season. We've seen it at Sheffield United, we saw it at Man United, we've seen it at Burnley, we've seen it at Bournemouth, Brentford. He's not changing his plans at all, and I think Arteta's going to be the same as well. They're playing at the Emirates, they're home. They already are considered the favourite. So I think both teams are not going to change their plans. I think both teams are going to go for it. And
it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be a very interesting game for the neutrals because, like I said, I've read a lot of things and there's a lot of neutral fans giving
this is their favourite game.
Yeah.
This is their favourite fixture.
Yeah, it's their favourite fixture. And also, they're giving so much positive vibes towards Postecoglou and the way he's playing football. So it's going to be an interesting one because neither manager knows about each other. Arteta knew what was going on with Conte, Mourinho's and all them lot, but he doesn't know anything about the way Postecoglou sets his teams up, what he does, how he does it. Even the players. I mean, half of them Arsenal fans are probably players and fans will be probably thinking, oh, there's no Dyer, there's no Sanchez, even Kane's not there. So they've now
I don't think the Arsenal fans realise that we have significantly improved. I think, you know what? Arteta did give Postecoglou his flowers in his press conference. He said he really likes him. He says, we're lucky to have this many top quality managers in the Premier League. He said he hit the ground running. He respected him. He was nice to him. I expect that. I think he is expecting, a front foot Tottenham. I don't think Arteta is an idiot. I think Arteta is, I said this earlier on, a generational manager. I think he's going to be one of the top, if not the top manager of this generation. Post, Pep, if you want to put Klopp in the generation before you put him there as well. But Arteta's on his way up. And yeah, I think out of the two managers, he would be the one to change, not his philosophy necessarily, but I don't think Arteta would ever disregard potentially, dropping his back line a few yards, potentially playing off the counter with the speed that they've got going up front, the likes of Saka. I think Martinelli, I don't know if he's going to be fit for the game, but Trossard is a perfectly fine replacement. Jesus is a quick player. Odegaard, the likes of these players can transition quickly as well as keep the ball in possession. So they're set up to play in any way they want to play. And now with the addition of Declan Rice, breaking down that team, it's like one barrier after the next. You have to beat a highly pressing, front three and midfield two. Then you get to Declan Rice, and then you have to defend it. You have to attack against Saliba and Gabriel, who are in good form as well. So they've got a good team and they've got a good defensive spine. And yeah, it allows them to be able to potentially change the way that they play to potentially beat us not at our own game, but our previous game that we've played against the big teams.
I agree with you, but the thing is, they've been got at this season. Fulham got at them, Forest got at them. So, and even last weekend, so teams have got at them, and they are a little bit vulnerable. And with what we've got, with Maddison pulling the strings and Solomon and Kulusevski, Son, I think we'll cause them problems. But it's like you said, and we'll talk about this later on. There's going to be some very, very crucial and interesting battles in this North London.
I'm hoping you have a potential lineup so we can.
Oh yes, don't worry about that.
I know you're prepared.
Absolutely, I'm ready. Right. So this is what's been happening at the Emirates Stadium. I know you don't want to. I know none of the Spurs fans.
It's gonna be tough.
It was 3-1 last season. Partey, Jesus, and Saka and Harry Kane scored for us. It was 3-1. Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, Saka, Son for us. Then it was 2-1. Odegaard, Lacazette, and Lamela. And this is the worrying thing. 20th of November 2010, 13 years ago. And you touched on it before. Tottenham 3, Arsenal 2 at
that Lamela goal was the Rabona one, wasn't it? Through the legs. That was never forget that. Never forget that. So
we all know how much of a disaster we've been at the Emirates. So it's 3-1, 3-1, 2-1, and then the 2010, which is a worrying thing for a club like Tottenham. I know we're not very good with all these so-called top 6 sides going to their stadiums, and I mentioned it before. Liverpool, Man United, it's Chelsea. We've got to start winning at these stadiums to be actually in with a chance, because we can't have good seasons and not go to these grounds, because these are the grounds where we need to get the points and break these stupid records that we keep making. And I think this Sunday it could be the beginning of the end of this. I think potentially, but we'll talk about that more. We'll move on from this slide because this is depressing.
Not good.
No. Right. So this is now the season so far. They beat Forest at home 2-1 beginning of the season. We beat Man United 2-0 at home. They beat Palace away 1-0. We beat Bournemouth away 2-0. They drew 2-2 with Fulham. We drew 1-1 with Fulham. It's a weird one, this one. They beat Man United 3-1 at home. We beat Burnley 5-2 away. They beat Everton 1-0. We beat Sheffield United 2-1. So you can see it clearly. 2 wins, 2 draw, 4 wins, 1 draw. We can't separate them. Cannot separate them.
And then we played Brentford as well, didn't we?
And we played where's Brentford gone?
Fulham was the cup game. Brentford was the game. Yes. The draw. That was a draw that we had in the
I think I put the wrong one in there. Yeah. So if you look at it, it's like for like, isn't it? It's absolute like for like.
Even Stevens. And I mean, if you even look at the Premier League table, we have scored 13 and conceded 5. They've scored 9 and conceded 4. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's they're not firing on all cylinders as they were. They're not scoring loads of goals as they were. I think, in last season, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, and I think Jesus all got double figures last season in terms of goals. And I think Martinelli, Odegaard, and Saka all got more than 14 goals as well. So that's pretty impressive, for a midfielder in Odegaard to score 15 goals. They have the, you know, the personnel to score a lot of goals. But now, I mean, only Brighton and Man City have scored more goals than us this season. Nobody's taken more shots than us this season, Sid. So
Yeah,
it's not gonna be the same sort of game that we've been watching in the past few years. That's all I'm gonna say, and that's why I'm excited, because as much as, you know, we can look at all these fixtures and results that have happened, and, you know, we can look at, you know, the past results that have happened this season. Does it all really matter in the grand scheme of things? Probably not, because we always say, you know, the old cliche, form goes out the window. It doesn't matter who we've lost to. It doesn't matter how many times we've lost in a row coming up to the Arsenal game. We're always going to put up a performance against those lots. So, yeah, I mean, 101 shots I think we've taken. If that wasn't a stat before the game just gone, it's something like that. But yeah, I think we're going to go at them. We're going to go at them. So
yeah,
it's defensively how are we going to
cope with
combat
what they've got.
their attack. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I mean, I don't know about Martinelli, whether he's out, isn't he? And that
It looked like a hamstring injury, which doesn't take
Yeah.
a week to get over. So I assume he's not going to be
that's a
playing.
massive blow for them and a massive plus for us, because I think he causes problems. He massively
Then
causes
you
us
say
problems.
that, and then you think about who they bring in. Trossard coming in
I know.
has had just as big an impact. He's scored in both games that he's come on in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you say, yeah, I do agree with you. I would rather play against Trossard, but that's not to say that Trossard is not going to be a big, you know, fear for our defense. So
Yeah,
you've got a lot of
I
threats.
agree.
They've got a lot of threats.
That's the thing. They've got a lot of them in that team, and they've improved on their squad as well. So let's have a look at a few of the comments. Sam Spurs for life. Oh man, in the voice of Drake, not again. I want to perform. It would be absolutely amazing to beat them lot on theirs on Sunday. Yeah, I agree. You know, and we'll talk about performance and what we're expecting towards the end. Dino, so good evening, Sid, panel guest. I got to think Sheriff Ange will put a price on Odegaard's head and give Basuma the contract. Go get him.
Wow. Hopefully, he needs to have a great game. He needs to have an elite game. He's been playing amazing, so he needs to just carry on what he's doing. So yeah, agree.
It's like I said to you, there's a couple of crucial battles in there which I've put in there. So let's see what happens. Sean Hill, our very own, come on you Spurs. David Clark, hi from Leicester. And then they're talking about teams and that, which we will discuss in a minute. So let me bring on my next one, which is the season so far. Tottenham second, Arsenal fourth. Both teams have won 4 games. Both teams have drawn 1 game. Both teams haven't lost a game yet.
Wow.
Average goals scored per match, Arsenal 1.8, Spurs 2.6. Average goals conceded, Arsenal 0.8 with 1. Clean sheets 2 and 2. Chances created, now this is the bit for me, 1.4 Arsenal, 2.6 Spurs. Highest win, Arsenal 3-1, Spurs 5-2. And neither of them have lost a game. So, Darius, I want to talk to you about these 2 bits, which I normally talk to with Sam. Average goals, we're scoring 2.6 and we're creating 2.6 chances per match. Now, what you touched on about them and the threat and what they've got, they're only scoring 1.8 and only creating 1.4. Who would have thought, looking at the 2 squads, right, with what they've got compared to what we've got, that we would be creating and scoring more per game?
Guess you call that the magic of Maddison, hey? I mean, not just him, but especially for the chances created per match.
Yeah.
And again, first and foremost, it goes down to the manager. He's instilled a philosophy and a way that we play, which allows us to create a ton of chances a game. And I keep mentioning this every game that we play. For our strikers to know that they've got, you know, almost triple the opportunities that they're going to have in a game as opposed to last year, it almost makes them calmer on the ball when it comes to decision making in the final third. Because if you know you're going to get another shot, you can potentially take a risk. You can have a little 1v1. You can take a shot outside the box. It's not going to be a be all and end all, should I say? It's not like, you know, in earlier years where we've been starved of opportunity. I mean, certain games I remember last year, I think we went 2 or 3 games with Nuno, with potentially Stellini as well, where we weren't having a shot on target in the whole game. Even you know, we weren't even having shots, not even shots on target, shots in the first half in some games under Conte.
Even at home.
Even at home. So to say that we, you know, are creating 2.6 chances a game, scoring an average 2.6 goals a game, that is such a good improvement. And it only leads me to believe that we're going to have a better chance of getting something from the game, you know, tomorrow. It could backfire on our face completely. We could get beat 4-0. I've said this. But and again, I'm speaking personally for myself. I think there's a lot of different answers you'll get from Spurs fans. But speaking personally, from my point of view, I think we need to do what Ange said and scare the life out of them and take it to them, because, you know, we lose 3-1 and try to, you know, damage limitations and not concede as many goals, and we still lose 3-1. We're going to be pissed either way. We're going to be angry because we're going to have Arsenal fans laughing in our face. So I would rather have Arsenal fans laughing in my face, but at least, you know, deep down inside, it's not going to matter to anybody, but at least I can have a bit of pride and say, you know what, we really took it to them. And, you know, again, we'll get to the predictions later on. I'll tell you how I think the game's going to go, but I want to see us carry on how we've, you know, continued for the whole game. I understand it may be smarter to drop our line a bit and play a bit more defensive, play off the counter. But again, if we don't and we don't get a result, what's the difference to us not getting a result and playing differently? We may as well go for it. I think our chances of winning increase if we play how we've played the whole season.
I agree. Totally agree with you. I mean, I don't think Postecoglou is going to change the way he's been playing all season, because it's Arsenal. I don't think he cares who it is. He's going to take every game as it is. Yes, it's a North London derby, but man's done the Glasgow derby, Celtic, Rangers,
Old
you
Firm,
know, and that apparently is an atmosphere and a half. That's like a sizzling plate, you know, or a volcano waiting to erupt. So this one for him might just be, you know what? Yes, it is a North London derby. It means massive to everyone, but to him, deep down, he's not going to change the way he plays. He's not going to change personnel. He wants to win that game. And no matter how, he will put a team out and he'll still be attacking. Yes, there might be moments in that game where we might have to defend a little bit, but his philosophy is not going to change. And you know what? For all the JLS fans, we might only get one shot, but we've got to make it count. 100%. You know, it might have to be one of them.
Shout out to JLS as well.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, you know, it might be that, it might not be. But talking about facts, and I think you touched on it before. Tottenham have had more touches inside the opposition box, 230 touches, than any other team in Europe's big 5 leagues. And no side has attempted more shots, 101, which you touched on at the beginning. So 101 shots and 230 touches in the oppositions. And like you just said before,
46 touches a game in the opposition half. That's crazy. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Under Conte, we was having 46 in a season, weren't we? Or something.
One touch per game in the box, pretty much.
Yeah. So
46 touches is insane. That's insane.
Yeah. So you know what? This whole philosophy under Postecoglou at Spurs is changing, and we're getting the fruition of it. We're seeing the impact. Other teams, other managers, everybody's seeing it, and they're talking about it. So you know what? It's good. And it's not good in a way, but for us, it's fantastic, because let me tell you, my 2 boys were in America, right? They've only come back today. And on Sunday, when we went to Sheffield United game, he come home and he said, "Dad, you lot left, didn't you?" I said, "No." He said, "Yeah, you missed the last 2 goals, didn't you?" I said, "I'm telling you now, we didn't leave." And he went, "Why didn't you leave?" I said, 2 things. It's Ange ball. We fight till the end. And I said, secondly, the youngest said to us that we was going to do what Arsenal done to Bournemouth to win the game and score in the last 2-3 minutes of added time after 90 minutes. And he went, "Seriously, you stayed?" I went, "Yes." I said, "There's no reason to leave at the moment, because we're all on a high. We all want to stay there." So this is what this guy's done to Tottenham. This is what he's done to the fans. We want to stay. Right. So this is the bit now where you wanted to know the prediction team.
Interesting.
Yes. So, and got a little bit of music as well, guys. So please keep entertained. Here we go. Ready? Go. That's my predicted team. The reason I'm saying this is because I can't see him changing the team unless somebody is injured.
Agree.
And I know we've got Brennan Johnson and so forth players on the bench, but they're now going to be massive impact players unless one of these gets injured. And I don't know if you agree, but I'm under this feeling now where Angie's not going to change a winning team just for the sake of it.
Nope. I agree. And I debated with myself whether to change the lineup after seeing, certain individuals perform, player profiles as well, how that would match against Arsenal's team as well. I wouldn't change how we started every single game that we've done well in. I think this is the best lineup. I don't think it's the best lineup in terms of our best lineup we can have. We've got a lot of players out, but this is the best lineup I think we could put out. Bearing in mind, Sam mentioned in the comments about substitutions, I think they're going to be really impactful. So it's going to be tough for certain players. I think Romero and Van de Ven are going to have. The entire back line and keeper are going to have an amazing performance for us to even think about winning this game. You think of the likes of Trossard against Porro. Porro is maybe a little bit more the most suspect defensively in that back line. You think of Saka against Udogie. I think Udogie potentially could have Saka's number. If Dalot can lock up Saka for the majority of that game against Man United, Udogie is way better of a left back than Dalot. I think he could have a great game. But then if Saka absolutely dazzles him, I wouldn't be surprised either. And then, Romero, he's been amazing controlling his temper and his aggression. Let's see if he can continue doing that with a Brazilian striker. Pretty sure he's going to want to put one on Gabriel Jesus. Basuma's got to have an amazing game, as does Rice on their team. And then, Maddison's going to probably be put up against Odegaard, and Sarr will probably play the likes of Vieira or Havertz. So Sarr's going to have an amazing game as well for me. And then the front three, I think it's going to be tough for the front three. The person who I think is going to have the most impact is maybe Kulusevski. Probably Kulusevski off the right, because I don't rate Zinchenko at all defensively. Whereas Solomon might struggle against, a centre-back in Ben White playing right back. And I don't think Son's going to have the best game at all. I think Saliba is probably going to lock. I think Saliba's going to lock up Son. Not easily, but again, I'm not going to hate on Son for not having a good game, because for me, Saliba is one of the best centre-backs in the league. So I think Saliba will have Son locked up. Son doesn't have that burst of pace, and Saliba's just too much of an athlete. And I think he'll be able to stop the intricate feet of Son. So it'll be interesting to see. I think this is the best team to go for, though, 100%. I like the look of this. Individual battles will be important.
This is it. He's not going to change it, because at the moment, these lot are all so high on confidence. They're playing the way they want to play. They're playing under Angie's way. Angie's got them drilled, and the family union between the lot of them, it just feels they love it. They love playing with each other. They play. I mean, you know what I mean, on the pitch, in the dressing room.
You shouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have even clocked. I wouldn't have even clocked if you didn't say anything.
I wouldn't have. They're all in it together. It's one of them, like the Musketeers.
I don't even know if that sounds any better, to be fair with you, mate.
I know, but the unity's there. They're playing as a team. They're playing for the players. They're playing for the fans, and most importantly, they're enjoying the way the football on the pitch. And
they're playing for themselves, not with themselves.
This is it.
To let people know they're playing for themselves.
And
the team.
Where has it gone? Somebody said something. Yeah. And I think talking about this, and I think Sam pulled up on it as well. Sam saying here the subs are going to be a big difference in the game. And David Clark is exactly saying, stop copying me. Spurs will need Richarlison physically to put 2 centre-backs under physical pressure, allowing all players to make way. I think, and I think you've touched on it, this 11 is going to go at them, give it all. And then depending on how the game's going, which way it's moving, I think Richarlison's going to have a massive, massive part to play in this fixture as coming on as a sub. And I also think Brennan Johnson will have a massive part. Them 2 substitutions for me are going to be crucial, because as Arsenal, I mean, as much as we're going to look at Arsenal's bench, and there might be 1 or 2 players that we're probably thinking, please don't bring them on because that's going to cause us trouble. And like you said, if Martinelli started, you got Trossard coming off the bench, which is a problem. They'll be looking at Johnson. They'll be looking at Richarlison, because Richarlison scored his goal last week and he got man of the match in the 20 minutes that he played. I think substitutions in this week on Sunday, I think it's gonna impact the game. And who knows? Substitutions could win the game for Spurs.
I would love to see Brennan Johnson 60 minutes, 65 minutes in against a tired Zinchenko. I'm telling you now, Zinchenko is there. He's an incredible passer. Do not get me wrong. Zinchenko his passing ability is second to none, in my opinion. Sometimes how he finds his passes, but defensively, I think he can be taken. He can be getting at. You could get at Zinchenko defensively, and
100%.
With the pace of Johnson, officially, statistically, the second fastest player in the league behind well, I wouldn't say our Kyle Walker, but our old player Kyle Walker. It's definitely something that Ange could consider. Moving potentially Kulusevski onto the left, bringing Solomon off and putting Brennan Johnson on the right to really go at Zinchenko, because he is definitely the weak link in that back line.
This is it. And it's like
He may even start. What's it called? Oh gosh, I forgot his name. Tomiyasu, if he's fit for that more defensive solidity, because he can do that role. I think he could be a left back as well. So yeah.
Sean's saying here, Saliba is a weak link. Need to press him.
I don't agree with that. I
I think he's quite good.
I put Saliba up there with the best centre backs in the league for me. He's him, Romero, Botman. I guess you could put I don't know. Off the top of my head, he's top 5 for me. So yeah,
he can be got at.
Disagree with that one. I think Saliba can be got at, but defensively, he's solid. He's very solid.
Yeah. David Clark, I see Johnson making the difference in the second half, along with Richarlison. I think, like I said, them substitutions are going to be interesting. Shaw reckons Gabriel is the best centre-back. Might need Richie to rough them up. I don't know,
It's crazy.
Gabriel's been a bit of a hit and miss at the moment, hasn't he?
He didn't even, well, I know he was out of the team at the start of the season because Saudi was sniffing around, but for me, I don't think it's even close. I think Saliba is a generational talent. He is incredible. And again, I really, really strongly believe they probably would have won the league if he didn't get injured towards the end of the season last season. So yeah, agree to disagree. We'll see how Son can match up. I think, Maddison's going to need to probably play as a shadowing striker as well to really give that centre-back partnership a hard time. But, each to their own. Yeah, Romero's better anyway, so it doesn't matter.
This is it. My players to watch or head-to-heads, I think it's going to be Declan Rice, Basuma. Them two, I think, are going to be, like you said before, these two are going to have massive games to keep their team in the game. Like you said, Declan will be probably covering up everything at the back, just mopping everything up. Like you said, Bisuma's going to have to be the man, or somebody put it in the comment section, to take care of Odegaard. And then I think this guy against Sean, ready?
Yes,
the best fucking left back in the world.
Yes,
this is going to be a battle.
This is the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, this is going to be, Alicia Keys said, like, it's going to be on fire. Because this battle, I can't wait. I can't wait either. Yeah,
I want my boy Destiny to lock up Saka. Please, Destiny, please. Yeah. I'm looking at the camera. Please lock up Saka. I'm begging you. I think he can do it. I think he can have a great game. I really think he can do it.
And you know what? When he's beating him, all he's got to say is, you You are my destiny. Lionel Richie. But
Oh, please.
and for me, the most important player on this pitch on Sunday, in my opinion, and now people are seeing he could be potentially one of the best signings of the summer. This guy is going to be so pivotal and so crucial for us on Sunday to pick that defense, pick the lock, find them passes, even get assists or even get a goal. Maddison's performance on Sunday, I think, is gonna have to be same as all season, consistent, keep it to the level that you're doing, and provide the chances and even score. I'm so looking forward to this. These
He'll set the pace. He'll set the pace. If he plays well, we'll play well. If he plays badly, see the team kind of dysfunctioning, because this Arsenal team will pick you apart if you're not concentrating, if you're not alert. So yeah, I agree. I think that was the most perfect, head-to-head battles, players to look out for. All 5 of them, I would have said, Sid. So 10 out of 10 for that. 10 out of 10.
That's it. Because I thought that obviously Declan Rice and Basuma, in their own respect, they've got their own battle, and then they've got to be looking after certain other players.
Yeah, because they're not really going to compete against each other. They don't occupy the same space. So yeah, but it's an individual head-to-head. I know what you mean. So yeah, I agree with you.
That's it. But that Udogie and Saka battle, man, it's going to be interesting. And like you said, if Dalot handles Saka easily, the problem with this one is Saka, as much as he loves going forward, he's going to think, you know what, this guy doesn't only know how to defend, but he's going to give Saka a run for his money at the other end. And Saka, is he going to be capable of tracking him as well? Because you can't track him and then make that run back up again, because Destiny is fast and he's very, very confident. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm telling you. And then come Sunday, I'm going to tell everyone this fucking left back in the world is at it again in the biggest matches of the world. So there we go. Right. It's that time, mate. It's that time. Oh, just one more before we go. Sean's team's going to be the same as what I put up, but he puts in Johnson instead of Solomon.
Ooh. Royale as well.
And Emerson Royale as well.
Interesting. And maybe this was my team with Porro instead of Royale. This was the team that I first thought would be the best team to face. But then I just thought I would rather Johnson. And again, Johnson will start very, very soon. I think Johnson will probably be in the starting lineup in the next month, maybe even less. Yeah. But I think he can have an impact off the bench. And that's not to, say that he ain't good enough or whatever. But I think Solomon didn't play badly. I think Solomon was the best winger on the pitch in the first half. And then obviously Kulusevski got the winning goal and he got into the game and he played well. But Solomon wasn't bad against Sheffield United. So, yeah. As much as I agree with you, Johnson can have his impact in.
Yeah, and I think Postecoglou's probably doesn't want to risk starting him in a massive game like this. Yeah. I think he wants to sort of embed him into the team, bringing him on with 70 minutes as an impact player, see how he goes. Because Solomon's playing well, right? Well, the front three and Kulusevski's playing well. You don't want to drop them to bring in a player that you've not really seen that much in a Spurs shirt. And then if he doesn't play well, then you've got to bring a player you've dropped who's been playing well. It might backfire. Whereas if you start with the team that he's been starting with consistently, and he knows that I've got hungry players on the bench that are kind of come on with pace, with 20 minutes to go, to cause issues and problems, I know which way I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I totally agree with you in Johnson. I think within the next couple of weeks, I think we'll see him starting.
Agree, because he had a good little cameo when he came on. He's quick, got a great touch. So yeah, we'll wait and see. But onto the big
thing. What are you saying?
Predictions, as you call them in French. Prediction.
Everybody, please put your predictions in there. I think your Sam has already gone on and he's put.
You said 3-2?
2-3 to Spurs. I'll give you my score and 2-3. David Clark's one.
What did David say?
David said, I'm going to divide 69 by 3 for both teams. As Arsenal are the home, they take the 6 divided by 3 equals 2. This is a maths lesson, by the way. Spurs takes the 9 as the away team. So 9 divided by 3 equals 3. So the final score will be Arsenal 2, Spurs 3. Logic.
Can't beat logic, can you? So I'm not going to argue with that. It looks like he's got his calculator out and done correct maths. So David, I ain't going to argue. Sid might argue. I ain't going to argue.
I'm not going to argue. I've got more chance of starting than Emerson Royal. Right, everybody else, please put your comments in. Dino Dinosaur, Sean, Kevin Gonzalez, everybody who's watching, listening, please put your comments in with your predicted scoreline. Darius is going to give us his predicted scoreline because I know Darius is going to be different to the rest of the Spurs fans.
And I don't even do it on purpose. Again, I want Tottenham to win. I would love Tottenham to win. That would be the greatest thing ever. I could go and laugh to a lot of friends of mine and tell them, 700 million euros over 5 years, and you got beat by an Australian who's been at the club for 3 months. Crazy. However, given what Ange said in the press conference and the fact that we are not going to change how we play, we are going to take it to them at the Emirates. Given what I saw, and then we're not anywhere near that level, but the likes of PSV did when they took it to Arsenal at the Emirates, I think it's going to be unfortunate for us. I think it's going to be 1-1 up until 85, 89, 90th minute. We're going to put the foot on the pedal. We're going to try and get a winner. I think in the end, we're probably going to concede 2 late goals. So I'm going to say Arsenal 3-1. But I think I'm going to be very, very happy with the performance. I think I'm going to be proud, despite us losing by that scoreline. That's just what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a close game up until very, very late on. And I think we're just going to take that one too many risks. And the way Arsenal counter, I think it's just going to catch us out. And then we'll try and go for a draw maybe. And they might just get kind of similar to what happened in the Man United game. Almost carbon copy what happened in the Man United versus Arsenal game. So unfortunately, guys, please don't hate me. It's not because I want them to win. I still want Tottenham to win. But my footballing brain, my logical head says I think it's going to be Arsenal 3-1.
Right, for everyone that's watching and everybody in the comment section, I know what you're thinking and I know what you want me to do. I've removed him. I'm joking. I'm putting him back on.
I knew that was coming. I'm sorry, boy. I'm sorry, boys and girls. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, do you know what?
I'm a logical thinker.
Yeah, do you know what? And David Clark saying if PSV played like Forest Green, they were more like PVC.
They were poor.
Dino Dinosaur said 3-4 to Spurs. Johnson with the winner. Sean Hurley saying 1-2 to Spurs. So everybody obviously on this one are all going Spurs. Darius, let me tell you where I am at with this. I totally hear what you're saying, right? Arsenal at home, they just play until 500 minutes. They keep going. How many times have they scored late goals? And they seem, if you allow them in the last 10 minutes in added time to stop playing and let them pressure you, they always seem to find a way to unlock that defense and score goals. But what I have found with Spurs, we've done that. Sheffield United last week, There was no way people would have predicted us to go and get onto that win and carry on playing like we did until that 112th minute and win the game. Yes, we found it hard to unlock Sheffield United's defense because they came with a plan to waste time completely, and it worked for them. But I agree with you in the sense where if we're going to go to the Emirates with a 100% attack plan, right, with what they've got and the pace they've got in certain players, it could come back to haunt us and it could come back massively. And I think you mentioned it this afternoon in the talking points, 4-0, 3-0. It could. Yeah.
I know people don't want to hear that, but it really could. And prepare yourselves for it if it does happen.
Absolutely.
Better to prepare for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's better to prepare. However, deep down in my heart, and I can say this, I don't think we're going to get hammering. I don't think so, because we've got players that can unlock their defense. They can be vulnerable at times, and it's going to be 100 miles an hour. And it's just a matter of who settles down quicker. The pressure's on them. They're at home. And as like Postecoglou said, yeah, we're going to go there with a game plan. He's already set the bar. He's already told Arteta, I'm coming to play football. I'm coming to attack you. What are you going to do about it? But it's going to be a very interesting game. Very, very interesting game, and probably end up 0-0. You know what I mean?
Is that what you're going for?
No, I'm not going for a 0-0. I honestly
Whoa.
think it's probably going to be. I think the best we can get out of this game is a draw. I can't see us winning it, and I can't see us losing it. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a draw.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw because the way both teams are going to set up. I agree with what you've said. I agree with what Sam said as well. As long as we put in a performance, as long as we give it to them, and as long as we come out of that stadium not doing what we've done previously, where we've just not turned up and literally just shied away and played absolute shite, I'll be happy. We put in a performance in every one of them players. And what's the most important thing for me going into this North London derby is these players now. Some of them have never witnessed the North London derby. We've got about 7 or 8 players that haven't actually witnessed it. So it's a first. And you know what happens normally when you go into the den? You want to win because it's your first. You've never tasted the atmosphere. So you want to go there, you want to win it, and you want to put in a performance, and you want to put your authority. So the likes of Odeji, Romero's, Madison's, Basuma. Now is the time to go there, stamp your authority on these players, and say, go back to South London. North London is white, and it will be white forever. So
I love that. You know what? 2-2, probably the most logical, probably the most realistic, I guess, result. But yeah, we have to wait and see, boys. We have to wait and see, Sid. I think it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But if we can perform, like you said, I will be a proud Spurs fan, even if we lose. So yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us and giving your predictions. I hope we can come back on Sunday and we can, beam from the each cheek, big smiles all around. And I hope we can, we can talk about how we absolutely dominated Arsenal at the Emirates. I'm fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Angelo Tyro, good evening. He's saying 5-4. Gooners are our bitches. Well, there you go. But thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you for you, Darius, for joining us. Thank you for
went very quickly, didn't it? I didn't realize how long we spent.
I know 55 minutes for a preview show, which normally I only aim for 30 minutes, but it's the North London derby, isn't it?
Yeah, special.
That's absolutely. Enjoy your Friday evening. Enjoy your Saturday, guys, because Sunday is it.
Oh, God.
Sunday is the day where the butterflies, your nerves, whatever you've got going, it's got to be happening because whatever happens, you know what? We're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club and we've got Ange Postecoglou and we've got James Maddison. And through it all, we play the way we want to with big Ange Postecoglou. And join us for the reaction show. Darius will be with me, Sean, Sam, Pav. Win, lose or draw, we'll be here. Whether we're gloating or crying, whatever, we'll be there. So make sure you join us straight after the game for the reaction show. And then Judge Jodi will be doing her reactions. Darius, final words.
Let's all go in and leave this game as proud Spurs fans. I hope that's what we can all do on Sunday is, go into the game proud, which I am, and leave the game proud. If I'm disappointed and annoyed, I'm not going to stop supporting. I'm not going to give up on Ange at all. I love the man with all my heart, but I want us to be proud at least of God. And I just remembered who made that quote popular amongst Tottenham fans, but I do want us to be proud of our team. 13 years. Let's try and change that. Let's try and change that at least.
Absolutely. 13 years we've waited, you know what I mean? And Angelo saying here, love that Ronan Keating song. Sorry, Ronan. Nah, don't be silly. But hey, seeing as you're asking for one, life is a roller coaster. You've just got to ride it. So ride it as Tottenham fans with big Ange Postecoglou and enjoy the ride. Buckle up. because we're in for a ride. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Sid.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you, Darius. Make sure everyone you join us for the reaction show. Win, lose, or draw. We'll be there. Have a great evening, and we will see you on Sunday. And if I can find... Yeah, have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Come on, you Spurs!
More developed football. More developed football.